Okay, what if I do that? Does that work for you to record?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So then just in case we don't have to redo this.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want me to start facilitating first?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. Okay. So,
Are we supposed to have it, me and Carla, are we supposed to have different,
I think so, like roles?
like, the monopolist or whatever, but like this
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I was a little confused on the whole assignment. So I emailed her yesterday and she was just like, just come up with something that we've talked about in class or something and have a discussion on it. So
are we not, is it not on the diabetes thing?
I thought it was about diabetes. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like a support group, right?
Mm-hmm, like a support group on, wait, let me look real quick. Yeah, a diabetes support group facilitator.
Where is that at?
It's just in the conducting a support group assignment, like the instruction page.
I don't see.
It's kind of like far down there. It's like during, it's like where it says prepare to be a facilitator.
Step 4.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that's what we were supposed to do because I emailed her and she's like, yeah, just find something from the material that you want to have a discussion on.
That's weird.
So, but yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I guess I'll start facilitating. So the objective I have for the discussion is whether we need diabetes support groups or not. So I wanted to start off with an icebreaker just to get to know you guys a little bit better. So if each of you just want to introduce yourselves and say something that is unique about you or where you're from and just introduce yourselves.
Okay, I will start. So I'm Brittany. I'm from Pocatello, Idaho. This is my baby, Peyton. I don't really know what else. I graduate in April, which is exciting, and I just got accepted to be a student seminary teacher, so I start that in November.
That's awesome.
So I'm Carla. I'm from El Salvador. I'm graduating next fall, so I'm almost there. Yeah.
That's awesome. My name's Kennedy. I'm from Rexford, Idaho, and I graduate next semester, so I have 1 semester left, and I'll be graduating in public health. Something unique about me is I'm currently pregnant. I'm having my first baby in December, so I'm super excited. It's a little girl, so it's amazing. So yeah, so a question I wanted to discuss with you guys is why do you think diabetes is on the rise in society today? Like, why do you think we see it so much more prevalent in today's society?
Probably because of our eating habits, they've gotten a lot worse, especially in America. Just like with all the fast food things, and you can even tell like just with the sizing portions of fast food, you know, like the size of a large soda is a lot bigger now than what it used to be, and same with even like the size of the burgers and fries and things like that. Just like our portion control is getting bigger, and then the diet is getting worse.
Mhm. And I also think like exercise. We don't exercise like often. I don't. So we just eat, but we don't, walk or just or
Yeah.
run or anything like that. So I think it's lifestyle. Like we need to like change all those things in order to like reduce like levels of diabetes in our society.
Yeah, a thought that I had was that as we didn't really know about diabetes that much. We've had a lot of research that's been done, and a lot of progressions in the medical field have lately came up, to help people deal with diabetes. But yeah, I think that diet has a pretty big impact. So do you guys think that a support group, holding those support groups would help? Or do you think it's more of a personal problem or issue to fix our eating habits, exercise habits?
I think that I do think it's like a individual thing, but I think the support group can help you make those better decisions. Like right now, I have a grandmother who has diabetes, and she won't change like her eating habits or her exercise because she just kind of doesn't care. But I feel like if she was part of a support group, she'd be around other people who also had diabetes and was going through those same things, and she might be held more accountable to them than she is to herself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think like support groups will prevent more cases, and that I think that's the main goal. We don't want to like increase the levels of like incidents. So if we just try to educate people more about like this and what they can do to prevent, so that will help a lot.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Those are good comments. Do you guys know the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes?
I know you're born, well, I don't know if you're always born with type 1, but type 1 is the one where you need sugar, right?
Yeah, you don't produce insulin.
Yeah, and then type 2 is the other one when you develop it, right?
Yeah, because of lifestyle.
Yeah.
I heard this is kind of like a side note, but I heard an interesting statistic that I just had my blood glucose test done for pregnancy, and I was like 2 points away from saying that I had gestational diabetes. And my husband, he's in some class right now, and they were saying that 40% of women who have gestational diabetes will develop type 2 diabetes within like 10 years. And I thought that's kind of crazy. But kind of in closing, I think that support groups would help. I know there's a lot of people that have type 2 diabetes or just diabetes in general that don't know much about it. So I think just educating them on ways to prevent exercise and eating healthier could really help. So yeah, that's the close of my facilitation.
Good job.
Okay, I can go next.
Okay.
But I kind of did mine a little different. So before we start, I kind of like planned on you guys being at a support group and you guys have diabetes. So can you just like role play that you guys Have it? Okay, perfect. So welcome to the diabetes support group. So first, we are just going to start off by talking about which type of diabetes you have and how you found out that you had that diabetes. So go ahead.
So I found out I had diabetes 3 years ago. I have type 2 diabetes because I like to eat good food and I'm a little overweight. And I know there's things I could do to fix it. I just don't know if I'm willing to do that.
So I have type 2, and I was really thirsty, you know, and that was real like weird for me. So I went to the doctor and I had the blood test, and that's how like I realized I was type 2.
Okay. So it looks like everybody in our support group has type 2 diabetes. So what question I want to ask you guys is, how is that affecting you? How is having diabetes affecting you today? Like your everyday lifestyle, what is it doing?
Well, personally, for me, it's really hard because you have to be careful with the food you eat and all those things. So sometimes I love like chocolates and cakes and ice cream, and now I have to be really careful about this. Now, sugar levels go up, and that's not good. So that's something that I don't like.
Yep.
It's extremely frustrating for me because I feel like every couple hours I'm having to sit and check my blood sugar levels. And then if they're too high or too low, I have to give myself shots, and it kind of freaks people out, you know, because it's in my stomach is where you have to give the shot. And so it's just inconvenience that I have to sit and carry that stuff around with me. Yeah.
So we know that diabetes comes with a lot of challenges, and you guys have described like the inconvenience of it, and also the eating habits have had to change and things like that. So the question that I want to ask you guys is, are you willing, are those inconveniences and challenges with eating, is that enough to make you want to change?
I would say yes. I would say yes. I'm willing to change if I have help to change.
Perfect. What about you, Carla?
I mean, it's so easy to say, you know, I'm gonna change my diet and blah blah blah, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard because it's a big change that you're making in your life. So, I mean, I want to be healthy, but at the same time, it takes time, you know, it's a process. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what this support group is here for, is to help us change and to help us have a better lifestyle. So we're going to do a little exercise in our support group, okay? I want you, what is your guys' favorite restaurant? Where is your favorite place to eat?
McDonald's.
Mine too.
Mine is Pizza Pie Cafe.
Pizza Pie Cafe and McDonald's. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is to just take a minute and really like believe that you are on your way to McDonald's or you're on your way to Pizza Pie Cafe, okay? And you're going with a group of friends. You and your friends decided to go to McDonald's or Pizza Pie Cafe. And the whole time driving, you are thinking, okay, I have diabetes. I need to be careful of what I eat. So you're thinking maybe I should get a salad, maybe a small slice of pizza, but mostly fill up on salad. And at McDonald's, you're kind of thinking the same thing. Maybe I should get a fruit cup or a salad, or kind of stay away from the greasy fries and burgers, okay? So you're really trying to do that. So what happens when you make your order? What normally happens? Because I know you both want to change, so I know these things run through your head. But what happens when you start ordering that makes you change your mind?
To me, it's looking at other people eat the good food that I want to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like if I go to Pizza Pie Cafe, I want to eat like Oreo pizza, instead of salad. So
Yeah. Oreo pizza is my favorite. So this is what I want. See, you see other people eating it, and that's kind of why you want to start eating it. And a lot of us, there's not all of our friends have diabetes, so not all of them are worried about the same things. But you both know each other, and you can be accountable to each other. So what I want you to do is next time you are on your way to McDonald's or Pie Cafe, and you have these thoughts running through your mind about wanting to, sorry, our third participant, and you're wanting to order these things that aren't good for your body, I want you to call each other and be accountable to each other. Can you guys do that?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We will do that, and then we will see how it goes and meet up again next week.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, I think that's what we were supposed to do for the assignment, and I just didn't understand because that was good. That was really good.
Oh, thanks. I think yours was good too, though. I think it just practicing facilitating was like the main thing that we were supposed to do.
Cross your fingers, that should count it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn. So welcome to the support group this week. During this week, we're gonna focus on like how to overcome the emotional impact of diabetes in our life. So I want to ask you something. If you could describe diabetes, which word will you use to describe?
Sorry, I did not hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's mostly just my baby being really loud.
Going on outside of my apartment, so I apologize. So the goal for this meeting for the support group this week, it's like we're gonna focus on like the emotional impacts of diabetes. So I want to start asking you something. If you could describe your disease in just one word, what word will you use to describe it?
Awful.
Awful. Great.
Inconvenient.
Okay. So those are like kind of like negative words, right? So as we know, like diagnosis and treatment sometimes like can cause like emotional impact on you guys, especially because you're beautiful, you're really young, and you have babies, and so it's hard. So I just want to know, what was your first reaction when the doctor told you you had diabetes?
I was surprised. I don't feel like I eat any different than anybody else, but also it could be genetics too. I just was surprised that I was the one that had diabetes out of everybody,
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too, mostly, but it's funny because it runs in my family, but I just assumed that it would never happen to me, kind of a thing. And I knew that I was not eating well and a little overweight, but I just assumed that that wasn't the reason because I don't know. You just think bad things won't happen to you, kind of a thing.
Right. And it's sad, but that's life. So I just have another question for you guys. How has diabetes affected your social life?
Mm-hmm.
It's affected mine because when everybody's trying to eat, like we're in college, we have parties and pizza and good food, and when everyone's eating that, I want to fit in. I want to eat that too, but it's hard to. That's why it's hard for me to make the conscious decision to eat healthy. because a lot of my family members don't.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me. I mean, you think about just going out for ice cream or something. For everyone else, it's kind of a simple decision, but for me, I run through all of these scenarios, but if I don't go out with ice cream with my friends or with people, I'm not going to get to know them. Or if I do go and I don't eat ice cream and I'm just there to socialize, people ask questions and wonder why I'm not, participating and eating and things like that. And so it's difficult because, we're trying to make friends. Like, that's just the stage of life where we're at, where we're trying to kind of fit in, and it's hard to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I like those comments. So it's not easy. It's a negative thing. But something I have realized is like we can work on those like emotional conflicts that we can face with this like disease in our lives. And so as I said before, like you're a mother, you're gonna be a mother really soon. And so I feel like it's really important for you guys to take care of yourselves, like your health. It's really important. And sometimes diabetes can be genetic. So lifestyle, exercise, diet, those things help. And I also understand like emotionally you can feel like sometimes depressed or all those feelings, negative feelings. However, you need to know that nowadays we have like a lot of like resources. So like there are so many like drugs and medicines that are going on that can help you guys in your situations. So my sister, she's 22 right now. She was diagnosed with diabetes type 2, and so she was like kind of depressed at the beginning when she realized she has diabetes. So however, especially because she's taking like a lot of medicines, and so I know it can be really tough sometimes. But I just want you to know, guys, that the support group is for you to like share your experiences, your emotions, your feelings, your frustrations. And in that way, you're gonna feel so much better after you just share all those things. And I just have one more question. How are you dealing with your emotional conflicts?
I think previously I dealt with a lot of my emotions with food. I would turn to food, and that's why I'm where I'm at today. So I came to this support group in hopes that maybe I could learn to change that emotional connection with food that I have.
Perfect. Thank you.
I think that it's a little bit the same with me, but not just the food, but also just kind of it, I don't know, following the status quo, just doing what other people are doing kind of a thing. I think that's how I like dealt with my emotions and tried to fit in. And so I think that's what's been a big cause. And that's why I'm here too.
Perfect. Thank you. And I really want you to know, guys, that I'm here for you to help you. So don't be afraid of like sharing your emotions, the way you feel about this, because I know it's hard and it can be painful sometimes. But that's why we're here for you guys. So we'll see you next week. And please don't give up. Just try really hard to all those emotions. And thanks for being here this week.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna hit the stop recording.